Hey everyone, my name is Diamond, and this is the Live Discussions with Diamond podcast. I think this is episode 227. And guys, it is Friday night. The weekend is here, and I hope everyone has fun, stay safe out there. And tonight's guest that we have on, I really appreciate. For us, this is about our 2 year anniversary since our first podcast here on this platform. And having this woman on means so much. She's been doing so much in the New Orleans community and abroad. And as well, we're here to promote the newest event happening in New Orleans, the New Orleans Salsa Bachata Festival, August 11th to the 15th. And guys, get your tickets. But before we get started as well, letting you know that this episode will be featured on Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, and also other streaming platforms. And guys, tonight I have the pleasure here of welcoming back a familiar friend, but also family, the one and only Rubia Garcia. What is going on, fam?
What's going on, Diamante? What's going
Uh,
on, bro?
Doing well, doing well. I mean, we're in 2022 now. The last time I had you on this platform, maybe about 2 years ago, in the heat of the pandemic, and now we're in 2022, and you're coming back with this amazing event. First of all, I have to say congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we've a lot's happened since I last spoke to you. God, when I think back to July of 2020, my gosh, yeah, I was in the throes of Hard Rock 3 in New Orleans at that time. So I remember distinctly us having that conversation now that you say that. But yeah, a lot has happened and a lot has transpired. But the most important thing is we're all here, and
Yeah.
that's gotta attest to something. That's gotta say something. You know what I mean? So yeah, I
No, you're,
agree.
you're definitely you're
Here.
definitely right. And for me, realizing as well when we had NOLA SBF in 2019, most of us didn't know what was going to happen over these last 2-3 years. But then really fast forwarding, and I would definitely say, in my opinion, the New Orleans scene, New Orleans salsa community or dance community has evolved and changed over the years. But also these past years, you've seen new companies come about, new events come about, but bringing back NOLA SBF. And we're going to get a lot more into detail. But for my question to you is just give me that overall feeling of having an event like this back in New Orleans.
Well, I remember being very much quite young and being just completely brand new to like the entirety and the enormity of what the Latin dance community was when I was very young. And I was very fortunate enough, you know what I mean, to kind of welcome me in order to even like get that nickname Rubia, you know what I mean? And that's kind of I think that's kind of why I always thought that it would happen. Like when I first recognized, like when I first met you, for instance, and we're in
Of
Texas
course.
and in these events, and I'm seeing David Melendez, and I'm like, I wish they had something like this in New Orleans. And I'm like,
Yes.
why don't you do it yourself? And I'm like 18, maybe 19, and I'm like, there's no possible way. There's no possible way that I'm ever going to be able to do something like that in the city. And especially considering like Katrina and all
Yeah.
of these things and then life that kind of goes in between. I always knew that New Orleans, because I love my city, and it's something it's a destination city because
Mhm.
it's unlike any other city. It's just like taking all these other ones and it's just a different, you can't, it's so hard to really explain sometimes because it's
Yeah.
where you either like it or you love it and there's no gray area in between. But it's a different vibe and a different culture, and it's a different breed down here, and that's just, you know what I
No,
mean.
no, no. And listen, many people, it's funny. I had people in New York telling me, like, oh man, I thought you lived in New Orleans already. And I was like, no, I'm just that invested and I've been going ever
Right.
since 2008. And for me, New Orleans has always been special to me of the people I've met, but also the resilience. Because we have to realize, with places like New York, LA, and other places around the states to have that staple. New Orleans, at one point, everybody left. I remember those stories of hearing like, hey, families are displaced, companies, events no longer. And it took years to rebuild. And there's been different events over the years, but for me to see like an actual festival, Congress type atmosphere happening means a lot because, and especially as well, you having, which is really important, all female cast. And that's something that I love hearing. So kind of fill me in and understanding like how was that kind of idea conceived?
I mean, honestly, it wasn't even conceived, to be honest. The team was always primarily like my girls, me, my girl Danielle, my girl Angie, my girl Annalisa, my girl Chelsea, who we've all through various connections, whether that be through other that people, whether there be students within my class when I was
Hmm.
teaching and whatnot, like just dancers in the community or people, because the New Orleans community is rather intimate, you know what I mean? And it was really just that. And Sonia Rivera she's been our stage manager for years, and I so much respect her. One, just for being a decent human, because it's so rare.
I
Just
mean,
to meet
nowadays, I mean,
you know,
I know they say like honesty is the best policy, but
yeah,
there's
yeah.
just some people in this world,
It's
it's
just
just.
it's the sincerity and the professionalism, and I trust
Mhm,
her work ethic and things like that, and I genuinely trust her opinion, and I respect the work that she does. To when it comes down to artists, like I've told you, like I truly respect and appreciate her opinion,
mhm.
and value her opinion and stuff like that. But yeah, that's when I look at it, I looked around, I was like, man, it's all females in here. And
Hey.
it happened by chance, but we're getting it done. So we're looking forward to it. We're like 20 days out now. Yeah.
Oh my god! And like you said, 20 days out, and for me, what I'm so thankful to have you on as well is you being an organizer. Because I've had artists on, I have had, of course, different promoters and organizers, and I've really enjoyed talking to organizers because I notice over many years the disconnect between the artists and the organizers, what the organizers want or need and what the artists want and need sometimes connect, or sometimes there's a disconnect. And my question to you then as an organizer is, do you feel there's a the scene has changed over these last 3 years, kind of the focus of what consumer wants? Because even as we talked, you've talked about even shortening the lineups. Do you feel like over the years you've kind of had to just mix and match and see what works for you?
I think, and here's the crazy part, because I don't feel it's my place really to speak for like other organizers, because
Hmm.
again, we're talking about a complete different slew. Again, D, you know me, so the person I am, I try to take things, and even especially with the empathy of it all, and try to put myself, and I really can't given the circumstances, so it wouldn't be fair necessarily to speak for all organizers in that sense. But what I will say is, as an organizer, what I could say, what how I feel when it comes down to bringing people and putting together any kind of event as an organizer, right? Let's think about just a fundamental what that is. All I'm doing is organizing, right? So
Yeah.
when people are coming to NOLA SBF, if they've been coming even since our very humble beginnings in 2017.
Yeah. And was that a dance quarter?
Yes, the humble beginnings, you know what I mean, to get to really where we are, you know what I mean, to be at Marriott and finally having pool parties, and now to really have, something like this. It for me, it's as an organizer, I stay to my lane. Like I believe that the people who are coming and attending, they're coming and attending because they're trusting in me to organize. So when it comes down to the artist, that's why the artist selection for me, there has to be an understanding between myself and these artists, that when you're coming out,
Mm,
like I am not, it's not about satisfying me per se, right?
yeah.
Because my job, I don't know about other organizers, but it's almost like teaching. Like you don't
Yeah.
really do it for the money. and all that means that much for you, then go right ahead. Whatever clout comes along, we're running this. You got to take that if it means that much to you, to be honest. But at least for myself, I feel like it's more about they're trusting me to come on and put on an event and to create a vibe where everybody is, excuse me, yes, learning, but yeah, also having fun, and it's safe and just a hint of party, but that's not the main focus. But if I can, obviously, I as a historian myself, I tend to understand that change and fluidity in any circumstance, in any aspect, a function of society, whether that be dance and so on. I mean, look at what we just went through in the last 2 years too, since you and I have
Yeah.
talked. In the dancing community, you can't expect there to not to be some consequences and repercussions from all of those things. And I think that, to be honest, maybe it's just the good in me that wants to believe in the best, and that everybody's just really out here trying to survive and just doing what.
Absolutely. I mean, because I would say in the last 2 years, maybe the people we knew in our communities have changed. The same
Mhm.
people we knew 2, 3 years ago and going out all the time, they've kind of toned it down in some capacity. While I feel there's a brand new generation of people in our community. A lot of more times I'm seeing as per se into the partying aspect compared to the instructional aspect. The people that want to learn and train, but then I have realized going to events over this past year, this a lot of new generation of really dancers, they're coming to have fun. They're coming to party, and all festivals and events are not made alike. But of course, people know when they go to NOLA SBF, besides having a great time in the atmosphere, what I love is that you have great instruction. You have really amazing artists coming on. So kind of give us an understanding of, NOLA SBF coming in New Orleans, August 11th to the 15th. Kind of give us a lay of the land or what people can expect, really.
Well, the basic event schedule, if we run it down, and it's important to note just walking into this, just all the themes that go into it. So if we have the pre-party on Thursday, which is the theme, the Mardi Gras, Mardi Gras stoplight. So green if you're single, gold if it's complicated, purple if you're taken. And then
Wow, no
Friday,
red. I'm surprised not a red there.
no,
Okay,
because it's Mambo Gras
yes, yes.
stoplight, bro. Come on.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Duh. So yeah, Marble Gras stoplight. So green, I mean, look at the colors: green, gold, purple. Eh, eh.
I mean,
Then
no,
what-
I perfectly get it. And trust me, I'm saying you're already
I'm
starting some
corny like
trouble with
that.
that
Listen,
first.
blame it all on me, because Friday is even worse. Friday is Harry Potter. You can blame that on me too. I'll take that.
That was actually that right there was very interesting. And I think we can actually share it up here and
Yeah.
realize I'm trying to
Yeah.
share this right now. Like we right now, so what you're saying right now, we got on Thursday, we have the Mambo Gras stoplight party. Remember,
Yeah.
purple if you're taken, yellow if it's complicated, and green if you're single. Do not mix that up. Um, and because listen, we are in New Orleans, and fish bowls are half the price there than it is in New
Oh,
York.
sweet Jesus.
So,
Yes.
and then August 12th, like you said, the Harry Potter, the leads and follows, rep your house or favorite character. Explain how that came about.
Well, first of all, and not just myself, but I
Okay.
know I cannot be the only Harry Potter fan. And I'm not. I know that I'm not, because even as of my team, I have yet to not find one. And when it comes down to it, it's just like it's very hard to not find. Come on now, like let's.
No, I love that theme because honestly, I've been seeing people now incorporating or events incorporating cosplay, incorporating like more, I think more like just festive themes because
Well,
with
Friday for us is always usually the fun one. So last Friday was like Saturday morning cartoons and stuff like that. So Friday's themes for us is always to be more like the fun one. Saturday's a little bit more dressy. This year we have Baywatch during the daytime, but that's for the pool
yeah,
party.
you first of all, the Harry Potter with the Slytherin, you're gonna get a lot of people in trouble.
I'm just
Saturday,
saying, rep your favorite. If it's Slytherin, listen, it is what it is. Hufflepuff, Gryffindor, choose one. Doesn't
oh,
matter.
so wait, so what are you?
I
I'm
think I'm more.
Gryffindor.
Are you really? See, my heart tells me that I'm Gryffindor, but I really think that my luck, I'd get like Hufflepuff or something like that.
Yeah, I could see that. I could. So then also on so Saturday we're expecting two events, a day and a nighttime, correct?
Yeah, so during the daytime from 1 to 4, we have the rooftop pool parties where we're gonna have a DJ and bar and stuff like that up at the top on the pool deck. And
Mhm.
then Saturday night is the Saints and Sinners masquerade. Now like white saints, you know what I mean, red sinners. But also the reason why that red theme is red
Uh-huh.
dress run, the charity throughout the city where everybody dresses up in red dresses and runs in the little marathon
Yes,
or
the red
whatever.
dress. Yes,
It's
yes.
that day, so that's kind of why the red kind of carries through on Saturday the way that it is. And
Okay.
then
Wow.
yeah, so that's just the theme stuff. And then Sunday is get laid luau. So luau theme, tropical attire. Get laid, most
Eh,
action I'm gonna get in I don't know how long. So there
oh
you
my
go.
god. Oh my god. You are.
There
I
you
love it.
go.
I
And
love
if
it.
that's if that speaks to you, come get late.
Yes.
And then represent your college city the Sunday night. Sunday's always pretty chill for us. Like last year was, oh my God, this is gonna be embarrassing, but it was. What was it? Bodysuit bandits and gray sweatpants sheriffs. That was
Wow.
last year's Sunday night theme.
Oh my, I mean, and but honestly, I love to hear about, especially when organizers are very invested in the type of things they bring about, like with themes and parties, because a lot of times the organizers, it's hard to really get that kind of conversation with them about what to expect. Because again, like you said, you're 20 days out, and most organizers are just running and doing things. But I also believe it's a testament to your team. You
Well,
feeling,
I think that no, it's the themes aren't necessarily mandatory. I think the more important things is obviously whenever these are the theme parties, but I think that it's just a testament to the atmosphere because when the
mhm.
workshop schedule and the event schedule and the totality, like the silent headphone flash mob on Sunday, on top of
Ooh, okay, silent. Okay, I like that.
we did that last year in 2019. We did a flash mob, just a regular flash mob, and try to do like the speakers. And I was like, you know what? Lesson learned. Well, we got to do something better next year. And that's when the silent headphone flash mob came up. And that's like into the Fausto and Kingsman are going to be doing the choreography for the flash mob this year.
Oh man.
So people just have to reserve their headphone and then go into the workshop and learn the choreography and then get their headphone and then we all go out there like we did last year and then really kill it, like, and just go
What
out on Bourbon Street and then just social dance because we can just do it like
my
that.
let me ask you a question though, because so many people, when people ask me about New Orleans, they automatically assume I'm going to say Mardi Gras. I tell them
Mhm.
this: Mardi Gras is any day if you make it that way. But I mean, what is that feeling like of actually having artists from all over the world who come, and them getting kind of that New Orleans love and that feel and that atmosphere? Like, I know from past events, what are kind of those moments like of, these people you're bringing, that your community is embracing them?
I think that I for them, whether it's seeing the artists that are out there on the streets and getting, especially because we've always done our events kind of like in the French Quarter area.
Hmm.
So on top of like coming down, it's about getting kind of even the architecture and the food and the music and the vibe that comes along with it, but and putting that together, giving them an experience, but also making sure that our attendees get the things that they're ultimately investing into the festival for, and ultimately, and back to what you asked me before, they're basically paying for me to organize for them,
Hmm.
which is the experience and the vibe and the connection that they have with artists. And ultimately you want happy artists and then you want happy attendees and you want happy volunteers and happy participants and everybody. In an ideal situation, you'd want to walk away where everybody's in good spaces. But the artists, we always try to bring out the the artists that are not only talented but are
Mhm.
guaranteed to show up and are solid and are dependable. And that's pretty much when it comes down to NOLA SBF. Um, that's what I like to bring to my community, able to demonstrate as much as possible the local here, because we have awesome talent in New Orleans. Even I myself, and to
Yeah.
be honest and transparent, Lord knows. Oh, D, with law school kicking my butt these past few months, it's been a difficult investment, but there have been plenty of people in the city of New Orleans holding it down, and many of them are going to be teaching at the festival, and that's one that I'm really, really proud of, is trying to bring. Am I still here?
I think you are. Let me see. All right. I think are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. I just saw the circle. I'm sorry.
Oh, got you. Now I can see you now. But and that's the thing, honestly, Rubio, which I appreciate is that giving back to your community, but even with the artists that you have, just even the relationships that you build with them, but also this year, as we've talked, a lot of the artists that are coming in, this is kind of also your first time kind of gaining that relationship with them. And if we actually can, I kind of want to take a look at who we have here. Of course, you're
Mhm.
going to have the Kingsmen. And of course, and to my left over here, you have Karin E.
Yeah,
Raphael. You have Angel and Stephanie. Who is this lovely lady here? Miss the one and only Rubia with the red, with
yeah.
okay, the red dress.
That's
Of course, you
that's
have
what I
Rodrigo
wore
and
last year. That's why you got that picture. Probably one and only time I put on a dress in 2019.
oh my God. I mean, of course, you got the Douglas and Alejandra, Evolucion, oh, Mark Brew and Rose. Of course, Sonia Rivera. Big shout out to Sonia Rivera with her. Still remember her group, the Diamond Dancers.
Hmm.
Love them as well. She's done amazing work, especially in the Florida area. And
Yeah.
I love the DJs. Papa Beasley, I was just with him in Connecticut. MC Cartier, Nina. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
DJ Alejandro. Man, you listen already. Just the people I'm seeing here. I love you got some East Coast. You got some Northerners up there. Man, you really have a very, very solid lineup. A person I have to give a shout out to, DJ Corwin. That guy right there, I
He
heard
is
being a
such a That's what I'm saying, bro. So when you find the best advice I think I could ever give to anybody is when you find a genuine human, and it's just undoubtable because it's when you meet these people, you know what I mean? Find them and keep them. That Corwin, yeah, he's another one, a very, very solid dude. Very, very
man.
solid.
So my question to you now is of when people are going to this event, what is kind of some brief, I wouldn't even say brief, but what kind of description would you give someone? If somebody's saying, hey, I want to go to NOLA SBF, but what could I expect?
Well, the first thing that they need to expect is that they're going to need to get their pass, so
Yes.
that when they so that when they check in, they can get their the whole process can go smoothly, because at that point they can either look up their name or they can sit there and scan their pass or whatever, and get that on, and just go. From that point, when the workshop schedules will be out there, you can take your pictures, check out some of the vendors, because we have G Franco as the shoe vendor, and Mi
Okay.
Cuerpo with Alex Bezianis as the bodysuit vendor. We'll have a
Mhm.
massage therapist and stuff like that there also. Maybe some other surprise vendors, but beyond that, choose from the workshops. They'll be printed out, whether that be on
Mhm.
programs or on the boards the large boards that are outside, and you pretty much just choose your workshop schedule, take the classes that you want, and then take a break while everybody else is practicing, and we're handling our business, preparing for the shows, and then come back for shows when the doors open at 8, get you a drink. Get ready for shows open at 9, or start at 9 sharp, and probably I imagine they'll go for anywhere an hour and a half, and then after that we'll have social dancing in 3 different ballrooms: salsa, bachata, kizomba, zouk. And then it'll pretty much go. I think we're having until 4 a.m. And then
And,
repeat that for the next 3 days. And
well, we
then
just got to make sure they don't hit Bourbon Street and they make it back
no,
for their
we didn't
temporary.
have the ability. It's going to happen. You and I know this because we understand New Orleans. It's almost like
You go
the
from one to
cartoons
one
where
to one to one.
you
Like
just
you can
see
hit
the
8
people start
bars on one
flowing
block.
down and being drawn to it. Yeah, it's a draw. It's a magnetism to bourbon.
And once you meet that lady that I've seen with that damn umbrella with the feathers and shit, like it's a whole. I'm sorry.
She
Once you
ended
get that,
up in our. She
yes, I.
ended up in our silent headphone flash mob last year. I was like, you can't script this. You can't.
Yo, well, you never know. You might actually. She might even be there again. She might
She
even be
showed up
there
out of
again.
nowhere. It was crazy. It was crazy. Good
And
vibes.
even now, even that we're 20 days away, before we get into our last segment called the randoms, what's interesting is that, even as we're 20 days away, what I love is that you just not only care about the event itself as a whole, you also care about the artists. And also you're still even saying, hey, we're still welcoming performers coming in. So kind of give us some info on that, on
Oh.
if people would love to perform, kind of some info.
Well, they can go to the website. You have it right there. That's where you can click to register. Registration ends for performances on July 25th. So you still got 3 days to perform, but unfortunately, the room cutoff is tonight. So after tonight, they won't be able to guarantee our 129 room rates, which is pretty much unheard of for that hotel. And especially because they're trying to really make money because, again, like I said, it's Red's Restaurant. So they're trying to make as much money as humanly possible. So if there is anybody that really wants to go or would like to perform, they still have time. They can register anytime between now and the 25th. But as far as the room, everybody needs to get their room now if they haven't gotten it for NOLA SBF, for sure.
Hey, I mean, like, listen, people don't understand is that those hotel rates, they don't last forever. And you
They
need
sure
to go
don't.
get your listen. And just before we get into our last segment called the randoms, I need to show them this hotel info at the Marriott New Orleans, $129 a night. And if people don't understand, hotels in New Orleans get really expensive the closer you get to bourbon and Frenchman. So just
And this is right there. We did at the Crown Astor. I'm not going to lie. And not to, nothing against the Crown Astor and whatnot, but I was absolutely terrified in 2019. Like we have these performances and the ceiling's like 13, 14, but we're throwing people like 11, 12 feet in the air. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. My girl is recording right next to me when we're sitting in the front row, and you can hear me gasp when they toss her in the air. Like, oh my God, I was terrified. But this year we don't have that problem. We have, a rooftop with a whole offside deck where we can actually like dance and have a good time on top of the pool deck. So it's a good. I have every confidence that Marriott might be NOLA SBF forever home. It just really depends.
Ooh, okay. I'm loving that.
This year goes.
Man,
I have every intention. I'll say this. I love putting on this event, despite I'm at that point 20 days out, and I'm putting on a really good face right now. But I put on the inside. It's like 20 days, but I'm at that point, like all the organizers get to sometimes, where they're like, oh, why did I get into this? Because and it's not even the things that you can control, but all the things that are really on the outside of your control, that's beyond your control. And it's just a frustration or whatever. But I know, and I had found that picture, and I shared it just the other day, because I thought I had seen every picture from 2019. And what I saw was, oh, my son's coming in. Are you bringing me a piece of pizza? You are so nice.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. Thank you, my love.
No, not a problem.
I did just bring you one piece.
Thank you, baby.
Ooh, that's love. That's love.
Thank you. He's with my mom and dad. Thank you. So, what was I saying? Because now I
Yeah.
just like pizza.
Hey, the pizza just got in the way. It's
No,
not
in the
from-
crust we trust. Pizza has
and
never let me down.
oh, hey, that's
Trademark.
listen. This
Yeah,
certain
you're
relationships
welcome.
with food never go away.
Yeah,
So
it really is. Yeah.
but lastly, before we get into our last session or last section, is I really want you to know, especially from one artist to another, I thank you for what you do. And I mean that wholeheartedly because the contributions, the sacrifices, the value of what you do means a lot. Because again, there are not many people who can go from teaching, dancing, to being an organizer of an event. Because I think a lot of people don't understand when it comes to being that face, it's easy for 100 set people to deal with one person than with one dealing with 100 people, different personalities. And you, I feel like you, as well as your team, have been able to handle it as amazing as you can. And of course, 20 days out, there are those crazy jitters, but I think you should feel amazing about the work you've been able to do.
I and this is probably it because I am probably the worst person at accepting compliments
Of course.
in the entire world. I honest to God feel, and just because you know me personally, you know that I like I've told you stuff like this personally. I am not when it comes to dancing, I am not get on the stage. It's not because I don't like performing per se, but I am not this championship like all
Mhm.
star. I've always recognized that myself, and it's not because maybe at one point in my life I didn't see that for me, but my life actually in significant part taken with Katrina, which took away whatever hope I had at learning from anybody, at least locally. But I
Mhm.
had to be in at home in New Orleans after all that went down. You know what I mean? But it afforded me the opportunity to really kind of to really be a part of something big in building something. And I feel like despite all the differences that go on that hit literally anybody and everybody and across the vast spectrum of everything, I think what's important is that we're all even at this point able to have an event like this, because I distinctly remember a point in time where my heart didn't want to, particularly
Yeah.
after hard rock stuff. And
Yep.
I didn't feel like it was safe to bring attendees out, to be completely honest, given the things that were going on in the city of New Orleans. And you might be pissed off at me because I'm not doing NOLA SPF, but at the same point in time, I'm not bringing my friends and family out here to get,
Yeah.
or if I can't, if I feel like there's something that's, uh, dangerous or I can't put on the event that you are in trusting me to do, and it's not going to be safe or in your better interest. So
Yeah.
I think that when people come to NOLA SPF, I think that what it is a level of relationship and a trust. When it's you have Corwin Jackson, and then the Guy Lovels, and the Miriam Watkins, and the Cassandra De Mercedes, and just the real heartfelt people that even
Yeah.
don't get necessarily, you know what I mean? Um, I feel like it's just really important to that everybody be full of gratitude, honest to God, that we're even in this position to even have these types of events and bring everybody together and whatever's really building the community. And that's pride be damned of feelings of things like that. And anything that's really good for the community really should be that way. And it is a push towards progress and growth for your community. And I think that's a good thing that everybody can really, jump onto. I don't know if
No,
that
I,
makes.
I I agree. I agree because again, for me, knowing people from New Orleans for so many years, and to see, in my honest opinion, the potential New Orleans has had in various years, and to see its growth and evolution over the years. But again, I'm still, no matter what, going to say I'm proud of you and NOLA SBF, because to say that New Orleans has an event like this, because
Yeah,
we're
I'm
so
not the
you.
only one. I'll do a shout out. There's another one in October for Halloween weekend for
Mhm.
I had out by another local, Eric and others. He's doing another more.
Hold on 1 second.
Fun on Halloween weekend, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, who wouldn't want to have some fun?
Hey, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, if you're gonna sit here and bring out shows and workshops and stuff like that, then that just is what it is. And if that is what it is, and that's good for your community. And I think that if more people, you again, knowing me, you know, I just feel deep down inside, I'm just blessed to be here. Like I am not the top all-star dancer. It's my love. And I told you, like, I don't never feel like I should have to explain my connection, because what's understood doesn't need to be explained. I've never had to quantify my connection with the dance community in words. So it becomes very difficult when people are like, oh, you should talk about it more, do whatever. And I'm like, it's very hard, because this is just something that I've always known for now more than half of my life. You know what I mean? And it's not just my identity, but it's such a significant part of my identity, because it opened my eyes to other things that's dance, but also the appreciation for a lot of different things. And that's one of the things that I really love about dance, is that its ability to embrace so much that can truly come in and genuinely appreciate that. And putting on an event where I know that, yeah, I'm stressing out, but I know that it's going to be that moment when I can literally, even as the teacher in me, is like, you can kind of see it come together. And it's like that picture that you see of me in 2019. I was really shocked by seeing it. You know what I mean? Because I was like, I could see my eyes in that moment. And that's that feeling for me.
Yeah. And I tell you this year at your event, I would love for you on a Sunday. I want you to go all the way to the back, to the corner of your event while it's going on, and just watch. And just see all these people. And again, you and your team were able to make this happen, just like more events are happening in New Orleans. And we need more of that. And now it helps us actually transition to our last segment called the randoms, which is some questions here that I've built up. Don't worry, not too crazy, but you know, just some fun-filled questions. So my first question to you, and it's kind of a two-part question. It is, give me a pet peeve of yours as a dancer, but also as an organizer.
God, I feel like I could be super cliche, but it's only because I've had a personal experience, and that's trying to execute the inexecutable. But I feel like I've seen it so many times, but I have witnesses. Like I was at a Congress, and a dude like tried to execute a dip that was completely
Lord.
But it was inexecutable, and it was just like, oh my gosh. But that was just but a pet peeve in dancing. I don't.
Hygiene, with some more connection with.
I will say there's a few things that I keep an eye out for, and that's like a respecting of tension. Like if I'm giving you a certain bit of tension,
resistance.
Yes, yeah, like that's what I'm saying. If I'm telling you in my tension,
like, chill, homie.
We are not about to do some body rolls and super dips and bend overs. You know,
you know why? Because he just saw it and he just learned it in the class before.
Yeah,
so that's why he's trying to use it on you.
No, I think in general, something I've always wanted to kind of just say out loud was like, there's plenty of times that I go to events or at NOLA SBF and somebody comes up to me and asks me to dance. And I'm not even lying. Like I feel genuinely, sincerely terrible for saying no. but if I just finished it, first of all, my stamina isn't what it used to be. You know what I mean? This is why I'm putting events together, because I am not that super all-star dancer. I'm trying to hold it together. I swear to God. But if I can't breathe, I'm gonna pass out on the floor dancing with you. So I'm standing on the side. So I'm like, just give me
give me a minute. Give me a minute, please. Give me
give
a
me
minute.
a second, please. And I feel like, sometimes it might be because there's like a prejudgment. Oh, you always, you say people say no.
Yes.
And that's why I understand with artists. So when it comes to an organizer, I do understand as an artist, sometimes you get tired. You really get tired. But what I don't want it, what I wouldn't want is to sit here and to organize an event where I am actually bringing out artists, and I am organizing an event where I'm bringing out artists that are going to either be inappropriate or do things. And you and I have had plenty of time talking about things like that. Either be inappropriate or unprofessional, or I'm literally organizing an event for these people. It's not about making up to me. It's about showing up, not and putting on your show and doing, this is your craft. My job literally is just organizing. I'm not going to try to pretend as if I am trying to do what you're doing. I'm literally bringing together this group of amazing humans with such an amazing talent and bringing it to my community. And your job is to show up really for them. And that's my job and my vibe as an organizer. They're entrusting me to do that. And that's, that's pretty much that.
No, you definitely hit the nail on the head, as they say. All right, let's take it a little lighthearted this time. Can you give me a hobby of yours? I know, of course, throughout your life, being able to do many things, and now organizing is one main part. But for you, besides organizing, dancing, non-dancing related, what are kind of some of your hobbies that you like to do?
Oh my God. Besides trying to get on the internet and try to arouse the consciousness of the American people to pay attention to the social consequences that are going on in the world today. You know what I mean? Besides things like that, I actually, this is kind of embarrassing. I do like to swim.
Come on.
I mean, what do you want? This is hobbies.
That's not embarrassing.
But I mean, not necessarily that. I left out the fact that I do puzzles. Like I have like 2 of them inside the house right now that I completed, and I like glued them together, and I'm gonna actually frame them. But now I'm doing like the sticky gem thing with like a thousand
That's
pieces.
tedious. That's a very tedious process. Okay, I mean, I don't think that is an embarrassing thing. Listen, some people's attention span.
It froze.
I think we're good. Are we good?
Yeah, we're good. We're good now.
All right. So my next question to you is, say for instance, you're at one of your favorite events of all time. It could be wherever. And the DJ's like, hey, we got last song. And he's like, hey, what's your favorite song to dance to? The last song, what song would that be?
Oh, man. This is going to sound so corny. I'm not going to lie, and this is a very true story. I would probably want to listen to Obsession, and there's a reason. There's a reason, and it's only because I was only like 17 when I got into dancing, and it was like family when mine was all kinds of hella dysfunctional, you know what I mean? Yeah. And when I got into, because obviously I am white, so Lindsay and Marie, you know what I mean? So I don't.
Wait, oh my God, I heard that. Did I be?
It goes by Rubia on the set, but I guess Rubia was a lot less country.
Yeah, Rubia definitely was. Remember, people was like, "Oh my God, isn't she from like Chile or Puerto Rico?"
No. No, but that's the crazy part, was that I don't know if there was a misunderstanding sometimes whether or not it's like an appropriation versus an appreciation point. That's something that's a kind of a pet peeve, going back to that topic, because there's such a big difference. Because is Rubia on the set mainly for the protection of, honest to God, my friends like you, people who actually know me. because God forbid one of you comment on my things, and then next thing you know, you're interacting with my followers, or next thing you know, like I understand that being connected to me, I kind of signed up for this, I guess, by opening my mouth, but other people that are connected to me personally didn't necessarily do that. So it's all this has been a ride. But I try to, I guess you
listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been to events and people have came up to me and they're like, you know Rubia? You know Rubia? And I'm like, and I have to like, wait, Rubia, what the fuck is oh Rubia? Yeah, I know Rubia. Because I'm like, I'm automatically, I just think of your name. So I'm like, yeah, they're like, oh my God, like she's so cool. I'm like, yeah, you can say hello. Like yeah. You know what? Because again, it's like what, and also kind of dating back to when you said you first went viral, just from that first kind of dialogue talking about Tamir Rice until currently realizing you just being you has gotten to where you are. I don't feel like you put on a face or a gimmick or a commercialized standpoint of you. You've just been the same person you are and expressive about how you feel. And not many people can take that, because people have to understand the stuff that you put up there or put out there in the universe is also going to come back. The stuff you put back on social media, people can comment. It may be nice, it may not be. And I give it up to people like yourself that has a huge following, and you're interacting with people from all over the world. Some great experiences, some maybe not. And you being able to juggle that, I appreciate that. But this next question, you can't juggle. So right now you are at your favorite event, and is the last song. And of course, I asked you the song, but can you tell
I
me
never
the
even answered the
person?
last one because I talked too
You
damn
said
much.
obsession. I think you said obsession.
I said obsession, but the reason was because I didn't know any better because I'm white. How I distinguished when I started dancing between salsa and bachata was obsession. The phone ring would ring.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's that other. And that was my first bachata. But then again, when I started attending congresses, like when I was meeting you, congresses weren't like that. Congresses was a salsa. You might see a bachata.
Yeah, no, bachata is like a cool down song.
Wasn't having like its own rooms and stuff
No,
like
no,
that
no,
at
no,
that
no,
point
no,
in
no.
time. But I really
They don't know.
But the experience with bachata, that's ultimately what made me go to Dominican Republic, because I was like, I don't know what this is, but where is it from? Okay, I want to go there.
And I mean, as you've seen, House Bachata has honestly, in my opinion, even though Masalcero has taken over this past decade, it has transcended just major milestones and just seeing how global that outreach is. So then the song that you said would be
Obsession. So you can go on to the next question now. No, my bad.
So then,
bro.
no. At the event, you could dance with one person, only one. Who is it?
Oh. I don't.
Put you on the spot there.
Damn.
Yeah, I put you. I definitely.
Again, I feel like I'm being super corny tonight, because in the back of my mind, I'm being like, I kind of want to dance with Aurelio again, but I ain't never.
Get him, Aurelio.
Aurelio is so. I like, forget COVID. Like, I don't remember. It's been years and years and years and years.
And mind you, I'm from New York, but I know about Aurelio from New Orleans.
Right, but I Eddie Torres too. Like, I really want to like dance. I like the greats, and it could be anybody. I was almost about to ask, could they be dead or alive? Because I would love to.
Of course.
If that's the case, then it's David Melendez, and be like, remember that conversation we had a couple years ago?
that's really
right. Because I would have never. I remember distinctly having that conversation with him. And I didn't even know him like everybody else in the community did, because that was just like me coming into my first Congress and seeing all this for like the first time, and realizing that, there's different genres, but it's so much bigger. And I remember feeling like my family just got bigger, like much bigger. And then then I remember learning that he had gotten sick and eventually passed away. That's MySpace days, bro. That's
We're talking about
MySpace.
07. This is 07 we're talking about.
That's MySpace days. Yeah, that was a while ago. But I remember thinking back then, like, and to be where we are now and actually doing it and going forward. Yeah, it's I probably have a dance with David and see.
Oh man, that and how if you did, I want to be there to film that. That would be a icing on the cake.
Facts on facts.
Yeah. All right, our second to last question. This should be interesting. So, an artist is coming to your event, and you guys have some downtime, and they say, "Hey, I want to eat a New Orleans dish, a NOLA dish." Where are you taking them to?
Oh, and there's no seafood allergies like me.
Nothing.
I can't. Yeah, I can't eat nothing out of the water. Nothing. So for me, I'm limited in that. But I'd probably take them to Drago's, and it's one.
Okay.
Not very far from the hotel, but I'd let them have some charbroiled oysters and let them really get a feel of dipping that French bread into that butter and all that type of stuff.
Oh, stop it!
Yeah,
you hitting me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you know what I mean. And those who, that's what I'm saying. Those who know, and all that stuff is like right there. And then,
yes,
for me, I'm getting like roast beef po' boys, or you know what I mean.
Okay, are you getting it dressed or
no? I just want the mayo and the cheese, and just for it to just melt all over the plate. Like just let it fall everywhere. Some shrimp po' boys, you know what I mean? They have mothers and stuff like that where you kind of get, some of those things. It really all depends. Obviously, taking the Cafe Du Monde, get some beignets.
They might get kicked out in like 5 minutes because you know how they are. They get in, get out, get in.
Just get your beignets and go. Get your beignets, your cafe au lait, and go. Yeah, that's very fine, but that's all right. So, yeah. That probably go to Drago's and get them some
okay. All right. And now to our last question. And for me, you being an organizer, I feel like for you specifically through your experience, you would have a really good understanding. So what advice can you give for other organizers, future organizers, people who are thinking about actually wanting to organize their own event in the future? What's some pieces of advice you can give for them?
Create a solid team that you can trust. Find people within your circle, because I can tell you right now that NOLA SVF. Thank you.
I didn't give you any
Thank you, my love. Right now, Thank you.
So I gave you.
No worries. I hope I have a son like yours. Trust me.
I'll be fine. No doubt. Thank you, my love. He's bringing me some soda with my pizza.
Look at that. Something tells him he might want something after that. Then.
I'm so sorry.
It's all good.
Oh my God, that's so cute. Oh, anyways, advice for other organizers, right? That's the question.
Yeah.
And I forgot where I was. I really forgot where I was going. I don't know. I find it very hard, at least for me, to kind of to speak for other people and when it comes to organizing events. But besides that, I will say I remember now the team, because I will be honest, when it comes to this year again, I wouldn't be able to do it without the team, like without Sonia, without Danielle, without Annalisa, without Angie, without Chelsea, without the people in that's coming through with production, without the artists that are coming through and holding up their end of the bargain and showing up and putting out and helping create the vibe and atmosphere. And my biggest thing is I want everybody to have fun and to be safe, but I think that what everybody really wants is just to be into the moment. I really want it, and that's where I think like the vibe comes through. Like, Yeah, laugh now, cry later type stuff like NOLA SBF, you know, laissez les bons temps rouler, you know, that type of stuff. Like let the good
Yeah.
times roll and everything like that. But at the end of the day, try to find a balance between you know, the fun aspect versus the actual the learning aspect, and also to take into the consideration the people that you're actually bringing out, and whether or not they're artists in their craft, in the sense that they truly understand and appreciate the what it is that your understanding is as an event organizer, and what it is that your expectation is, and that is to, yes, perform and do workshops, but also to be. I couldn't imagine myself as an artist when I was traveling and going to events, like not engaging with people or not social
Yeah.
dancing and doing these types of things. And excuse me. I understand with artists, because I also mentioned the pet peeve of the executing the inexecutable.
Yeah.
Sometimes with artists, it can be kind of dangerous to social dance and stuff like that. And because
Yes.
when it comes to event organizing, I've been the person that's just attending, to the person that's performing but's paying to perform and paying their own way, to the performer that's coming out and being paid for gigs, to now getting the different hat and wearing the hat on the event organizer and that side. So you kind of get a good vibe by it. But my best advice for event organizers is, when it came to look at it, NOLA SBF, straight up to the girls. If y'all not down for it, I'm not down for it, because I won't do it without you. So if you down, we down. We're gonna do it together, and that's really just what it came down to. So our intention is to put on the best event that we, honest to God, we're putting our hearts. Excuse me. Putting our hearts into it and trying to make it happen. 20 days, Lord knows. But like I said, it's going to go down. And I have every hope, honest to God, every hope and expectation that the people that we're bringing down, and the people that I have that are coming and attending and whatnot, I've seen not just the artist lineup, because it's not just really about that. It's also even just about the attendees and the friends and the family and the people that you haven't seen in years and stuff like that. And it's really just about bringing everybody together. For me, it's almost like a reunion, because it's like 2 years in the making. So whatever the consequences, the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between, I'm just excited to really see everybody in 2 weeks, to be honest. Whatever happens, but it's gonna be fun. I have every expectation. It's gonna be something, especially those pool parties. That's gonna be an experience that we haven't done pool parties before, so that's gonna be an interesting influx into the festival. You still there? Well, it says everyone can see and hear me. Can everyone see and hear me? He's not in here. Can everyone see and hear me? I can read the comments. He must have left the studio. Oh, wow. Well, in that case, hey. So some people, he's going to pop back in any second now. Well, in that case, I will send you guys to www.nolasalsabachatafest.com. You can save 10% by typing in NOLA Thanks You 22 into the Eventbrite. The hotels, like I said, cut off this evening. You can also buy other passes, not just full passes, but evening passes and individual nightly passes and your silent headphone passes and your pre-party passes and all that good stuff. So yeah, there you go. I figured.
Yes. Thank you. I'm glad. Listen, this is why I have a person like you holding it down. Goddamn internet. But
meantime, I knew you'd be back. I saw a note that said everyone can see and hear you, and I was like, ooh,
Yes. Oops. But
Okay.
of course, Rubia, you've given us some great info about what to expect at this year's NOLA SBF. And honestly, again, from here, we've gone now from the live discussions with Diamond podcast. Now we are transitioning to Let's Discuss with Diamond. But most of all, for me, I reiterate to people, this is a safe space for artists and creatives. And this is also a safe space for organizers and promoters. So we can learn now more to help bridge the gap between the artists, between the organizers, and create better communities, better events. And here at this platform, we fully support you guys out there in New Orleans and can't wait to see what's happening next. Definitely would love to catch up with you as well in the future.
Yeah, you're supposed to be coming out to 2023.
Is this an open invitation right now? Because don't play. We will bring the family. We will bring the family over.
You're gonna have to bring Cam with the little head muffins. You know what I mean? Like the little
Listen, we'll make that trip. I would love to be there, honestly, supporting you in your event with me and my family, because my family is your family. And honestly, Rubia, I really appreciate you coming on tonight, even with all the crazy technical difficulties. But most of all, again, it's great to see you again, friend. It's great to talk to you, even though we talk also privately.
I know
But
we do.
here to support you in your event. We love it here. And everyone, thank you for tuning in. Guys, again, get your tickets to the NOLA SBF, the New Orleans Salsa Bachata Festival, August 11th to the 15th. You've seen the themes, also performers. If you want to perform, go to the website. There is a performance link. Get your shows in as well. People, tonight, I believe, like you said, Ruby, is the last night for the 129 a night for the hotel. So everyone, please get that now. Guys, thank you again for tuning in to another episode of the Now Let's Discuss with Diamond podcast featuring the one and only Rubia, my great friend. Thank you guys for tuning in. For everybody who will be, we'll see you soon. Take care. Have a great week.